Hi there, this is a video on water usage. This time we're having a look at how to interpret water bills. There's a lot of information on each water bill, and here's a few tips for interpreting that information. So water bills, there's some important terms. Let's go through each of them. If you look hard enough on each water bill, you can find a date of issue, and that'll be the date the bill was sent to the customer. And the payment due date is pretty self-explanatory. That's the date by which the bill should be paid if you want to avoid some late fees. So that'll be pretty prominent up the top right-hand corner usually. The date range for charges, there's a section on it that highlights something along the lines of, for example, 1st of April to the 30th of June. Now if you think about it, the charges there are for April, because it started on the 1st of April, so it'll include all of April, all of May, right up to the end of June. So it's for 3 months out of the year, so we'd call that a quarterly bill, because it covers 1/4 of a full year. Not all bills are like this, but most of them are for water and electricity and things like that. So that's a quarterly bill. It takes into account 3 out of the 12 months, or a quarter of the year. Fixed charges are somewhere on most bills, so not every charge is due to the amount of water that people use. There can be fixed charges for water and sewerage sometimes. They're set amounts charged no matter how much water you use. So that's like for the infrastructure or for the whole system to maintain itself. So finding the total water used, where do we look on a bill for that? And it's a similar spot where we can find also the water price. They're usually right in the middle of the bill there, or halfway down. So have a look for it. You'll have for example, 27 kilolitres at 60.0 cents per kilolitre. Just in that one sentence there, or that one set of words, we can find the total water used. In this case, 27 kilolitres has been used in that 3 month period, and the price for that water, it's being charged at 60.0 or 60 cents for each kilolitre. So that tells us the total water that's been used in the billing period and the price that they're charging you for that. Now, one thing you can see on a water bill is a little graph, and it allows us to compare this bill we're getting right now to the same time last year. And what we do is we compare the heights of the first column that they give us and the third column. This is what it looks like here. They usually shade in this bill, and they give an amount at the top there to make it easy for you to read off. 250 there, because that's halfway between 200 and 300. This one's 340. That's last bill, so that's the last 3 month period. This bit over here on the right hand side compares what happened 1 year ago exactly for the same billing period for the previous year. And so you can compare the heights of the first column with the third column, and that can compare this bill that you're just looking at to the same period last year. Now this bill here has used, can you see, 250 litres of water, and at the same time last year this household used 150 litres. So there might be an explanation for that. It might have been a particularly hot 3 monthly period of the year here, and maybe you watered your garden a lot more, or you filled up your swimming pool or something like that, or maybe your kids just took lots of baths or showers. So we can compare on this graph here the heights of the first column and the third column to compare the size of the bill at the moment, the bill that's just passed, the most recent bill, and the same period for last year. So you can tell whether you're using more or less water than the same time last year. Okay, now you're sometimes asked from a water bill to calculate average daily usage. And so average daily usage is the total water used divided by the number of days that is relevant for. So the total amount of water used divided by the number of days. Now we have to be careful where we get the number of days from. Let's get that from the usage charge section, not from the billing period section. So they're technically different periods of time. So be careful where you get the number of days from on your bill. If you're asked to calculate average daily usage, make sure it's from the usage charge section. You should be able to see a heading usage charge, and those are the number of days that should be used in this calculation, just for a warning. Alright, so that's all about water bills. Have a look at the video again if you're not sure about some of those terms, but it's important to familiarise yourself with those special terms that are used in calculating and interpreting water bills. See you next time, peterblakemaths.com. All the best with your studies.